When we were last together, we got some note reading done on Mary Had a Little Lamb, so now we'll get back to some chords one more time. We've started to collect our chords and recognize that there are three major chords that go together in each key, and those are called the primary chords. We first learned C, we put a C7 with it, learned our F, and G7 or G, back to C. So in the key of C, the 1, 4, and 5 out of that group would be the C chord, the F chord, and the G chord. And the 5 chord can always be converted into a dominant 7, so we could do G7, back to C. In G we had G, C, and D, or D7 to G. In D we had D, G, and A, or A7 to D. In each case, those are three major chords, the 1, 4, and 5, known as the primary chords. We've started to see that there are minor chords as well. In the key of C, the 2 and the 3 are minors. That would be D minor and E minor. The 6th chord is the A minor. The 6th chord is a special case. It's called the relative minor. Every major chord has a relative minor. When you go from the major 1 to the 6th, the relative minor, you get kind of a 60s sound. Also the sound of the song Hallelujah. There's C to A minor. My hand a lot again so you can see really what this would look like is C, A minor, C, A minor. With my fingers hovering though, you might not know that right now I'm on C, pressing this finger, and now A minor pressing the pointer, so I move my hand out of the way. Don't copy that. Copy this if you can. C, A minor, You'll hear part of the doo-wop progression when you hear that. In fact, we can practice this as a doo-wop progression. I can go C to A minor, and then the two major chords F and G. C, the 6th chord A minor, the 4 chord F, 5 chord G. And that would give you the key of C with its relative minor, the A minor. We can do the key of G. 1, 4, and 5, G, C, and D are major. E is the 6th minor. So G, E minor is going to be pointer on the 2nd fret of the 1st string, middle finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, ring finger on the 3rd string, 4th fret. You can add another 4th fret on the 4th string if you like. That's just as good. I like this one at first because it's fewer fingers, so a little easier. It's also got two of the notes you see there of a G chord. So you could continue to hold a G chord, and if you could add this finger, if you could add this note with your pinky, you can make the E minor chord that way. So I've still got 2, 3, and 4 for frets, but I may not let go of this pointer on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string that was in a G chord. That would effectively give me G to E minor. Usually I'll switch fingers though. So I get G's and C's, D's or D7s, and E minor, back to G to E minor. So one thing we've talked about before is every single new chord you learn, you should practice it over and over and over with a chord that it goes well with. G to E minor might work for you. When you learn the chord, don't learn it in a song where it shows up once every 10 bars or so and muddle through it and finish the song and then come back and do the song again. Take that chord, every chord you run into that's difficult, and play it in isolation. Play it all by itself, learn how to do it, learn how to get it down with any set of fingers coming in any order, and then put it with another chord or another 2 or 3 chords that it works well with. One more thing while I'm on E minor is I might as well give you the B7. If E minor were your root, and we called it the 1, even though it's a minor chord, E, F sharp, G, A, and B, the B is the 5th chord. We'd like that not to be minor usually, but to turn it into a dominant 7 like other 5s. So E minors can go with B7s. reason I would want to learn that right now is there's lots of songs that do it, but also look how convenient it is to learn the B7. It's got the exact same fingers in the exact same position. They're just lowered a string. I know it looks like I went up, and sometimes I will say that just for clarity for people. I'll say let's go up a string, but we're really going down. We're going down in pitch. So the pointer moves from its location in E minor on the first string to the second string. The middle finger moved from its location in E minor from the second to the third string, and so on. So practice E minors with B7s where you're just moving that one chord shape, that diagonal line up and down. This is Joshua Fought the Battle of Jericho. So you get Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, B7, Jericho, E minor, Jericho, E minor. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and B7 came a tumbling down, E minor. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, B7, Jericho, E minor, Jericho, E minor. Joshua fought the battle of Jericho, and B7 came a tumbling down. So you can practice those chords together. Obviously that's a song we do a lot that will utilize the two of them. I've skipped the key of F here. We know Fs and their 5 chord, the C, or F and C7. We haven't been playing around with this key because it has a B flat, which I'm still avoiding, as you notice. Just like on guitar, I avoid certain keys at first while we're getting used to easier chords. I'm not going to do the 4 chord, the B flat, but we can do the D minor. Super easy from an F. You take your F chord, add your ring finger to the 3rd string. F, D minor, F, D minor. So this sounds like Scar Tissue by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's just Fs and D minors. So the guitar part I'm covering here is an F, passing from C to D minor. So that F to D minor is what you want in your head on Scar Tissue. F, D minor, ones and sixes, they go together beautifully. You can make sure you know all these majors and the minors that go with them. These are the relative minors of each key. We can learn other progressions as we talked about with the doo-wop progression and so on. When you're on E minor, you can play a B7 with it. Likewise, when you're on D minor, you can do an A7. Do you hear that ending of a minor song? When you're on A minor, you can play E7s. Just as we learn now, E minors with B7s. That should hold you guys for a little while. Take her easy. Bye.